Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is a special day. You know why? Because today I'm going to be talking about Glee. Glee is like my favorite ultimate TV show. It was my first TV show ever. I've grown up watching it. The way that Glee made me feel part of this community, part of something, I think that not any other TV show is gonna do that for me. It's like I was accompanying this character's life while I was growing up and they were growing up as well. I would have fun all the time checking out Facebook pages, Tumblr, and just overall seeing this community of people liking this TV show so much. I love that Glee introduced me to so many music genres. I was inspired to go and watch musicals and fell in love with it. I watched Grease, I watched Hairspray at the time. So I thought of talking about my favorite Glee episodes because I kind of want to celebrate this show. What it meant to me, what it meant to a lot of people, and just to be able to discuss about what made this episode so special. I'm going to talk season by season, so I can talk about which episodes from the season I like the most. Let's start with season 1. So from season 1, I don't have many favorite episodes, mostly because season 1 for me, I like it, it's the start of everything, but I do prefer more season 2 and season 3. So from season 1, the only episode that I have to talk about is the final episode, that is Journey or Journey to Regionals. That episode was such a good finale for the season. It has so much to unpack. We have the regionals, we have Queen having her baby, we have vocal adrenaline just giving the performance of their lives, or more like Jonathan Groff giving one of the best performances of the show. His version of Bohemian Rhapsody is amazing and I love how they added it, like they're presenting Bohemian Rhapsody and Queen is having her baby. It was just so good. We have Finn and Rachel working things out with them. They were mostly the main couple of the show, although for me, my favorite couple will always be Klein. I love Kurt and Blaine, okay? We also have that part that they lose the originals and they have the whole performance of To Serve With Love that I just sobbed so much when I watched it for the first time. I was like, I don't want it to be over. And then they pull a trick on us. Oh no, Glee can stay, we are going to have a second season. So I was playing like a fool. Okay, now going to season 2. I have 3 favorite episodes from season 2. The whole season 2, I really enjoyed it. They were on the top of their game. We're going to start with Born This Way. It's the 18th episode of the season. The premise of this episode is just, I think it's so important. The thing with Rachel's nose, where she's like, should I do a plastic surgery or should I keep myself as who I am? We have more about Queen's story, like how she did a plastic surgery and nobody knew about that. It has that Lucy Cabusi story with Lauren because they are running for prom queens and then Lauren is like, I'm going to dig some dirt on Queen. And then she discovers about Lucy Cabusi. I Feel Pretty, I'm Pretty. I mean, it's one of my favorite duets from Glee. I just love it so much, the performance. I love their voices together. Why couldn't they do more Faber duets? Like, why? They were so good together.
You can look inside you, find out who am I to.
The Emma storyline, in her story in this episode about she having to deal more with her OCD and they showing a little bit more how it's consuming her. We have Kurt coming back in this episode and it's somewhere only we know the performance that Blaine does.
Somewhere only we know.
Glee would come up with some ideas that are just, in paper you think that they wouldn't work and they did. Like that flash mob, it's so out of the blue. But like they did in season 1 with Artie and Safety Dance, so they just brought it back like, hey, here's another one. Barbra Streisand. I really like both of them. To be honest, it's just a part that it works. And flash mobs were such a huge thing when Glee was airing. You know, this episode has a little bit of everything and I just love it. It's one of my favorites and I think it's one of the best that Glee made. Now, another episode from season 2 that I really enjoy, I kind of really love, is Prom Queen. It's the 20th episode of the season. That episode, I think it's the best one of the prom episodes. The one from 3rd season is okay, and from the 4th season is just, I don't really care, I'm sorry.
I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me.
In this episode, it's about the prom, you know. Queen is crazy to win the prom queen title. She lives for that, basically. We have the comeback of Jessie St. James singing Rolling in the Deep with Rachel. I really like Jonathan Groff, so when he comes back being a special guest, I just really enjoy him. Not Jessie St. James, but mostly Jonathan Groff.
Finally, I can see you crystal clear.
Rachel, Mercedes, and Sam going to prom together, that is cool. We have Kurt and Glenn going to prom together. We have Jar of Hearts, like Rachel in that moment. Just, we are all there with her. Even though we like Queen, but like she's kind of in the middle of them, you know. I really like I'm Not Gonna Teach Your Boyfriend How to Dance With You, that Blank sings. It's just a fun song.
I'm not gonna teach him how to dance with you.
Then they have the argument, Jessie and Finn, you know, they fight and everything because of Rachel. The most special moment in this episode, I think, it's when Queen and Rachel, they discuss in the bathroom, and not Finn or Jessie are in the prom. So like when Queen loses prom queen, Rachel goes after her. We have that discussion that was building, that they were going to kind of face each other in that way. We have Kurt winning prom queen. Like, I just wanna hold Kurt in that moment because it's just so sad. It's so awful. Why did you have to do that with my Kurt? Don't. But then he goes back, this is with Blaine, he gets his crown, you know. Kurt is facing his fears. It's a fun episode. It has a lot of emotional charge in it. Last but not least, we have from season 2. It's the New York episode. It's the last episode of the season. Like I said, Glee always had such a way in make final episodes of the season being so good. It was probably the first time I had seen New York on screen. I mean, you know, we have movies and everything, but like, it's the first time that I remember, you know, so that's why I give credit to Glee. And how New York seems such a big place, and they were people with dreams, and they were there were the new directions in New York, and we all know how Rachel loved New York. I still haven't visited New York, but I sure do hope that I go someday, because I just need to see it for myself. Do you guys remember when Kurt and Rachel went into the Wicked stage and sang for good? It's just, that was everything as well. About their losing the nationals, we can accept that, because with the 3rd season, since they were school and everything, and then seeing them win the nationals, it really is a fulfilling moment. And maybe because they lose so much, we kind of, when we see them win, we were like, yes, baby, yes, there you go, good for you. The thing with the original songs, the episode original song, the original songs they did there, I really enjoy. Get It Right, Loser Like Me. Loser Like Me is an anthem, and Get It Right just hits you in the feels. While this episode they still try with the original songs, pretending it's okay, and Light Up the World, I'm not gonna lie, I used to dance to the song so much. Oh, I can forget to mention, we have My Cup. We have My Cup in this episode. That iconic song from Britney.
My cup, saying what's up to my cup, my cup.
I like it that in the end of that episode we see Kurt and Blaine saying I love you to each other for the first time.
I love you.
Love you too.
I'm sorry, you're really going to see me talking a lot about Clay moments because yeah, most of the episodes that I chose from now on has at least one Clay moment. Mostly what makes this episode so special for me is the New York part. I just really love it. Now let's talk about some episodes from season 3. Now season 3 is where I have the most favorite episodes. Mostly because it's the season where they graduate. I think that there's so much in this season that is so emotional because it's like their goodbye to the school, to Glee, to everything. There are some plot lines that are really weird, like Queens. I mean, I just can't get over how much they made her suffer in season 3. Let's start with my favorite episode of Glee. Like my favorite. This is my most favorite from all the episodes of Glee. And that is the first time. It's the 5th episode of season 3. It's the production of West Side Story, and we also have the first time of Finn and Rachel and Kurt and Blaine. I do love to see how those two couples, mostly Clay, but like how Finn and Rachel and Kurt and Blaine, they talk about that subject of the first time. There's a lot of really cringy moments, but like cringy moments in a way that you worry for the characters because they're making bad decisions and you just like wanna tell them, please don't do that. And yet they do. Like Rachel was really being selfish when she decided that she was just going to lose with him, not because of like the moment and they were in love, but like because of the role. And then Blaine, he got drunk and then he thought that like, oh, maybe I can't sleep with my boyfriend drunk and like, let me get the courage in here. But like, no. And Kurt gets really hurt because of that. And, that scene. We have the introduction of Grant Gustin to the cast. We have him as Sebastian. I'm gonna say Grant Gustin does an amazing job because I really don't like Sebastian. I really don't like that character. I hate that he gets in the way of my claim. Like, how dare you, sir?
Look, Sebastian, I have a boyfriend. It doesn't bother me if it doesn't bother you.
What?
I really like that they added directing as something that Art likes to do, because none of the Glee members, they are really into movies and such. They're more into musicals and performing in theater. So then we have Artie, who is kind of supposed to be the one person who wants to become a director and work with movies and such. I love the songs from West Side Story. I love how it was performed. Naya singing America, singing A Boy Like That. Amazing. You can understand why I like it so much. Next episode, it's the 9th episode, that is Extraordinary Merry Christmas. Here's a hot take. I like this Christmas episode of Glee. I know that people didn't kind of enjoy Christmas episodes of Glee because they were like, oh, it just doesn't fit, it's a skip. But like, I catch myself every Christmas season watching this episode. Like it was a special for Christmas. So that's why it's one of my favorites. From all the Christmas episodes of Glee, this is the best. The second season, when they have the first Christmas episode, it's not really good. I don't like it much. And then after like the 4th season, it's just really downhill.
Oh my god! Take that out of my house!
We have them in the stars setting up the tree, which is amazing, with Mercedes singing All I Want for Christmas Is You. I love it, that scene. They're going to present themselves on TV and going to do a kind of Christmas special that Art is going to direct. And it's just a fun time. And then there's the part with Rory missing home and he with Sam. I like that part of this episode a lot. It's just the Christmas songs, the covers, they are amazing to get you in the Christmas spirit. I can't forget to mention the duet of Extraordinary Merry Christmas between Blaine and Rachel. At the time I didn't know that it was an original song from Glee. It's just such a cozy, fun time from Glee, from one of my favorite shows that I get to have on Christmas. It's just really nice. We got to a decisive episode, and that is On My Way. It's the 14th episode of the season. That episode is filled with too much emotions. The main thing in this episode is about Karofsky, with the performance of Cough Syrup that I love of playing, but like the scene of him going through bullying, thinking about taking his own life, it's so tough and real. And in this episode, when they tackle this part of Karofsky, you may not like him, but you are feeling what he's going through and you're just like, oh my god. And you see how Kurt is handling that also because I think one episode before this, it was the Valentine's Day episode, and Karofsky kind of thinks that he likes Kurt, and then he confesses to him and he just says, no, don't confuse friendship with love.
David, you just think that you love me. You don't really love me. I like you, but just as friends.
And then comes this episode and just crashes everything for him. It's just a really strong emotional part of the episode. We also have the regionals, you know, they are on fire with the presentations. In here we have the trouble tones. We know that Rachel has a solo, she always had in those competitions, except the ones where she couldn't participate or for some reason, or they put a rule that like she's not going to sing. We can't forget to mention that in this episode, Finn and Rachel, they would get married. They were planning to get married after regionals, and we have the scene with Queen at the end of the episode that she puts "On My Way," and then the car crash happens. You're already feeling the Kravsky thing, you're feeling the wedding, and then you go and feel Queen. There are going to be the hiatus that they had when they were filming the show. So they left us with a cliffhanger that, oh my god, we thought that Queen, she was dead or she was in the hospital. We just had no idea what happened to her. And then we find out that she was in a wheelchair, which is still something that surprises us. It's just, I don't really like how they handle that storyline of like, she's healed after, what, 6 months or something? 3 months? Like, she healed really quickly. Okay, going out of this Feel the Emotion episode, we have the Dance with Somebody, that is the 17th episode of the season. It's a kind of love-hate relationship because what they do to Klein is what they do to Kurt and Blaine. It's just like, they had to make Kurt exchange messages with this guy, and then Blaine goes and be like, you cheated on me, and then he goes and sings It's Not Alright But It's Okay, which is an amazing cover.
Friday night you and your boys went out to eat.
I think what makes me most mad about it is just because he does that in this episode and then he goes on season 4 and then he cheats on Kurt because they're having the long distance relationship. It's just, writers, did you really did that to me, to us?
This is cheating, Kurt.
This is texting.
I was with someone.
And Kurt sings I Have Nothing, I'm crumbling, because the way that Darren Criss, that man, you know, Blaine, reacts is just, he's crying there, I'm crying with you.
Don't you dare walk away from me.
Yeah, I'm talking too much about Klein, I'm sure of it. We also have the tribute to Whitney Houston, which is really well done. All the covers in this episode, I love it so much. I love Santana's and Rachel's duet, so emotional. We also have I Wanna Dance With Somebody with Brittany and Santana singing. I love Saving All My Love For You. I love Queen's voice in that song. The whole Queen-Joe romance was kind of weird. And the My Love Is Your Love performance, I remember that when I watched it, I thought at the time that me and my classmates, we would stay together forever. I really love this episode, I just don't like what they did to Clay here. Last episode that I want to talk about from season 3 that is one of my favorites is Goodbye. That is the last episode of the season. It's the end, you know, of that Glee club that we knew, that they knew, because these people are graduating. We see the main characters that we know, like Queen and Santana and Mercedes, they all talking, oh, we are going to go in certain ways. And then we come to that big finale with Rachel and Finn that, goddamn, it's so emotional, it's so passionate. It's one of the things that Finn does that is like, you really did something there. Like, you let Rachel go to follow her dream because you knew that that was really important to her and you were let her stay and wait to fulfill it. So it's one of those acts that of someone that really loves the other person. When Rachel sings Root Before Branches, my heart, I feel everything because I can relate in so many ways. I think I could relate in a way when I first listened, now I relate in another way. It's just that powerful. It's for someone who grew up watching Glee, this episode is just really special. It's just really, it all comes together to this. Like, you can say that the show could have finished there with the 3 seasons and everything, which I think it will be nice. I like that they tried to do a new season, just that you could see that it didn't work so well because they wanted to include these new characters with the old characters. It became kind of a mess. Now let's talk about 2 episodes from season 4. Like I said, season 4 is a little messy, but it has some good episodes. It has some good storylines, it's something. For me, one of my favorite episodes from this season is the breakup. That is the 4th episode of this season. I can't believe they made an episode where almost every couple that you know breaks up. And each breakup has its reasons. Some of them are graduated, some are still in high school, they're having long distance relationships and everything. I think one that really hurts the most because they really want to be together, but like it's been really hard, it's Brittany and Santana. You know that they wanted to be together, but it's like Brittany is in something in high school and Santana is trying to do college and like they just are not working.
You know I will always love you the most.
She sings Mine, and oh my god, that solo, Naya's voice, and then we have the Don't Speak, that then it's Kurt and Blaine and Finn and Rachel, that I really like that song. The reasons for Kurt and Blaine, it's cheating and everything, and I already said how that made me mad, because how they took my couple to that place. And with Rachel and Finn, we kind of knew he was coming, because Rachel was in New York, she was adapting to her new life, she was starting to get involved with Brody, and then Finn comes back from the army and they had to talk and they see that they're kind of not in the same page at the moment, so it happens. I really cannot remember why Will and Emma fight. What is the reason why they end up fighting? Oh, I can't forget to talk about the duet between Blaine and Finn, Barely Breathing. Such a good song. I think it's an underrated song. Just give more love to that song.
Cause I am barely breathing and I can't find the air.
The Scientist, man. What a performance. You guys want to break my heart. This is the episode. It is one of my favorites, despite being one that is going to break me when I watch it. It's just, it's so well crafted that I just can't look away. The other episode from season 4 that I really like, it's the 14th episode, I Do. We know that Will and Emma's wedding was something that Glee was going to show eventually. Emma and Will in the end don't get married, she runs away. Yeah, it was a lot for her to handle all at once.
Part of me is everybody there because if everybody's there, I want to thank you all for coming to the wedding and appreciate you going even more. I mean, you must have lots of better things to do. Not a word of this to Will. Remember, Will, you know the man I'm gonna marry, but I'm not because I wouldn't ruin anyone as wonderful as he is. But I thank you all for the gifts and the flowers. Thank you all. Now it's back to the showers. Don't tell Will, but I'm not getting married today.
And then the wedding is like kind of just a party for these people that stayed. Everyone reunites again in a way. So then we see Kurt and Blaine. We also have Finn and Rachel. We have Queen and Santana. That was something that everybody was like, whoa. And yeah, we have Jake and Marlene. That is like, okay, sure. You know, I was really not that invested in that storyline. I was just happy to see everyone kind of reuniting and that episode delivered. I really like the cover of We Got Tonight with Finn and Rachel singing, and then the couples came and started to sing it too, which was really nice. The only thing that I'm not going to forgive the Glee writers for doing is making Tina fall in love with Blaine. Like, come on. I appreciate that they would create a friendship between the two, like it's really cool. It would give more Tina screen time, which is something she deserves. You guys had to make her fall in love with Blaine. She knew that Blaine was gay. She lived a whole year after the season 4, in season 3, when she was dating Mike, and she saw that Kurt and Blaine was a couple. So like, why, how, I don't get it. Why did you make Tina fall in love with Blaine?
I don't like the way you treat Blaine. There, I said it. You're here, you're in New York, you're at Vogue.com, you're at Nyada. Who are you, Kurt? Meanwhile, Blaine is here, lonely, and yes, he cheated. And we're all human, Kurt. We all deserve to be loved back, Kurt.
Okay, Tina, I say this with total love, but the moment we all saw coming is finally here. You're a hag. You're hagged out, you're in love with Blaine, and it's creepy. Stop.
I saw two soulmates rediscovering each other, and I was jealous. Why couldn't that be me? Why can't I have that with someone?
The last episode I'm going to be talking about is from season 5, and I think you know which one it is. It's the quarterback episode. It's the 3rd episode of the season. What can I say about that episode that people who are Glee fans don't already know? The characters lost Finn but the actors lost Corey, and we lost Corey, and we were all going through that and seeing that. It's like that episode, going through it, it's a little hard, it's really emotional, but it's one that I think like I can consider one of my favorites because there is nothing like it. It's one of its kind. All the songs that they sing in this episode, they are just so pretty to hear and to see. If I Die Young, when Naya sings Santana, I cannot now think how I can relate that song to Naya and to Corey, because she's singing about Corey, about Finn, but like now we can also say about her and how we can relate situations, just how sometimes I like how this happened. And Make You Feel My Love, I mean, come on guys, that solo, that was Leah Michelle, that was not Rachel Berry. It was from her heart out. It was too much. It's a tribute to Cara Montaigne, it's a tribute to Finn Hudson, it's a tribute to this person in this character. Basically, those are the episodes I wanted to talk about. I wanted to highlight them. I wanted to just gush a little bit about them as well, what I think about them. I think one of the best things about the show is that you can go rewatch any season, and maybe you're going to fall in love with an episode that you didn't like it so much, but then you notice in a different light and you start to love it more. I may have one or another that I really like, but they're not exactly the favorites, but like maybe if I keep rewatching them and seeing something or another, it may grow on me more. This is my favorite episodes, and I don't think that it's going to change. These episodes are really, really good. I can even say like anything bad about it, because I think they all have its particular stories and its particular perks that make them good. The love for the show is probably never going to go away from my heart. It's always going to have a little place in here. I think there are still Gleeks out there who, like me, they always going to have that little special place and just want to see more content about it. So I got you. Feel free to comment down below your opinions about the episodes that I mentioned, or even about episodes that I didn't mention. What do you think about Glee? Do you like it? Did you never watch it? Are you interested in watching? That was it for this video. I really hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching it. It really makes my day. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!